So this is Home Sweet Home, the grade 6 classroom at Two Hills Mennonite School. We keep door wreaths up and doors clearly labeled to make the place look welcoming for students and kind of homey. Inside of the classroom, it's pretty fair size. It's brand new this year. At the back, the IA in our classroom, Ms. Friesen, is just doing a little bit of math work. From the front door, I have a lot of student desks that sit around the edges of the room so that students who aren't completely comfortable sitting in center groups have an alternative place they can go. We also have some choices for seating around the room. This is our cabinet where I shove a lot of stuff, but which right now is pretty organized. We put our school supplies and materials in here that the students have access to most of the time. It is lockable for on the weekends if the school is rented out. We have our classroom library. We are a conservative Christian school, so I do the best I can to make sure that what's in this library is tailored to those values, that it's Christian, and that it's coming from a Mennonite perspective wherever I can. This is the learning group that sits with Ms. Friesen. I feel it's really important in the classroom to give an IA a place to sit the same as anybody else who would visit the classroom and be offered their own space. And I think it helps give her some authority in the classroom with the kids that she works with as well. So it's an important part of my teaching practice that whoever is in my classroom has a space that's their own. We mostly do cubbyhole storage of materials in classroom desks. We don't keep a lot, and that's because we want to be communal in our sharing, and I pay for a lot of the supplies myself. And also we have different classrooms in here. I have a 6R class in at the end of the day, and they need access to supplies, and they'll just go in the desks if they're kept in there. So this is where my classroom, the 6F homeroom, keeps their stuff. It's also where if we have extra materials and mailbox for myself and Ms. Friesen, and we have paper choices and that kind of thing on the bottom. Again, with seating choices, I also like paper choices, that something where it can be colorful, why not? At the back here, we have the teacher locker, which generally just holds about 20 pairs of shoes. And we have our art drawing rack where we put projects as we finish them on there. I do a lot of lamp lighting, especially in the earlier part of the day. We have student artwork and gifts highlighted at the back of the room, trying to, again, just to keep it kind of a homey environment. We have our other sharing bins of things we use less frequently at the back. On the top is like pens, pencils, and Post-its, and on the bottom are different kinds of manipulatives we use. At the back, we have a sink and our yoga mats. I'm a big fan of yoga in the classroom, and I've been so lucky to previously have taught at a school where they trained all the teachers on how to use yoga and mindfulness, at least to some degree. So I keep those for my students, and we probably bring it out more at the beginning of the year to get things settled than we do at the end of the year. The sink in the classroom is part of classroom jobs. Every student is assigned a job, and they get paid for it using Class Dojo points, and somebody does dishes and somebody returns them. We have classroom microwaves because most kids in this community do come with pretty healthy homemade lunches that they need to warm up daily. Classroom fridge and classroom dishes at the back. I have several choice seatings where it's just one person if somebody wants to kind of sit on their own, or if they are doing group work and they're here but it's kind of noisy and they want to be on their own, they can move. This is the file cabinet that has student folders in it, so I keep portfolios on all of the students, and they can see how they're doing, take a look at their portfolio, and they can also show their families how they're doing when they come in. It's just easily accessible, and it's right at student height. At the top is where I keep my teacher tools, so some extra manipulatives that I don't want to keep out, and my emergency subplans are on the bottom, so if somebody were to come in out of nowhere because something's happened, they can easily access that. I keep a large professional library because you never know what you're going to need, and I'm a teacher. I like to collect the books. On the top, we have student readers. These ones I paid for with my own money because, again, I think it's really important that we have materials that are from their perspective, and these are books written from the Christian Light program. A lot of the stories are written by Mennonites, and then this is from the Pathways program. I found this online a couple years ago, and now the whole school is using it, or at least, grade 6 and up. This is where we keep our math. I do monthly math assignments, so for 1 month you have one book to get through, and we have 10 topics that we get through in a month. We have my teaching file cabinet here, where I have all the stuff that I've stored away because I'm not a big fan of binders. I generally keep everything in here. I do have some binders though. Those are the 4 subjects. Everything in my classroom is color-coded wherever possible. This is my teacher desk. It's important to me that the classroom looks clean and tidy and organized. I think that's better for the students. So I keep my desk organized, and I expect them to do the same. At the front of the room, we have our smart board. We don't have a lot of technology in our classroom, but smart boards are permitted. And I use a classroom website to organize all kinds of things that we use. So that's the classroom tour of 6F. Thanks.